Seen. Okay. It's 7 o'clock. David's not here. So I guess if we just all get familiar with the content of this presentation tonight, and you can make up your minds what to do, and we can canvass y'all remotely as far as how you want to vote as far as anything that does need to be voted on. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
Uh,
good.
Laura, are you with us?
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. So since we don't have a chairman right now, I'll just call this meeting to order and introduce myself to the public that might be joining us at any point in time. I'm Holt Cornelia. I'm the library director for Franklin County. Mr. Wayne Hunt is providing a screen share of our agenda and our presentation for the evening. We thought we'd better try to put together some kind of quality presentation so that what we are talking about this evening would make sense to our public. And so our members that have joined us tonight are Ms. Jackie Gill, Ms. Laura Fisher, Ms. Donna Jones, and myself and Mr. Hunt. I didn't leave anybody else out. Anybody else has joined us, I don't think. So those are members of our library board, and you'll see if you're a member of the public joining us tonight, you'll see that we will have a call for letters of intent for other new members of the library board. But so we're going to start with this agenda with the treasurer's report and follow that with new business about COVID-19 and our curbside service. So here we go. All right, the treasurer's report. I'm going to ask the library board to consider making a contribution to one of our programs. And you can see it, the treasurer's report as follows. The library board maintains a small sum that's been maintained in order to assist the library community in times of need. We'd like to propose that in this time of crisis that the board allocate $6,000 to the library to purchase additional internet hotspots that will facilitate Child Internet Protection Act compliant internet access in our underserved businesses and households in the county. We've got $9,690 in COVID-19 related relief funds allocated to purchase 19 hotspots. Given the additional funds provided by this entity, the library board, $15,690 will purchase a total of 30 hotspots and increase circulation opportunities from 296 to 510 circulations per annum each year. This engagement with our patrons will provide some short-term help to families and small businesses in our communities. An extended benefit will be to assuage small businesses in our community. Connectivity needs through the interim in which the build out of a permanent internet network is established throughout our county. Future years will require us to include budgeting for funds to maintain this access and Child Internet Protection Act compliant filtering. So since we do not have quorum tonight, we really can't take that vote. But at this point in time, we can't take that vote, but we can all contemplate it and act on it in the near term. We can call a special meeting and when we've got enough people together to do that. So that's something for our board to consider, those present.
Okay.
And so here's our treasurer's report, what we actually have. The red things that say not shown for security or account numbers. And I'm not going to put those out to the public. But anyway, the current balance is, as it has been, $9,616.34. That's what the board holds in a checking account. So that hadn't changed. And this is our most recent report, July 1st through the 31st of July. Uh, and we do not have to approve the treasurer's report. That's not a requirement anymore. Okay, our service measures and curbside service are now at all locations. We're not just limited to Youngsville and Franklinton. I mean, Youngsville and Lewisburg. We're now at all locations. The spray backpack that you see pictured here is the very model that we are using to use a disinfectant that we use on Sundays in each of the buildings to thoroughly disinfect all high touch surfaces and things of that nature. Um, some of us are inclined to go kind of hog wild with disinfecting uh, book carts and things of that nature. I would be one of those people. Okay, so Ms. Kidd put together. It's more than you see here. This is an abbreviated version of Ms. Alice Smith's step by step protocol for sanitizing material and quarantining material for 72 hours before it's released to the public. We do quarantine all of our material for 72 hours prior to public release. That's because uh, it, uh, because that's what's recommended by the CDC. And it's particularly for plasticized surfaces such as CDs, DVDs, games, things of that nature. And the acetate acetates almost all of our print materials. So it's recommended that those things be quarantined for 72 hours. Many libraries around the state are quarantining for everything for 92 hours. Some of them are. The only thing that really needs to be quarantined for 92 hours are magazines, periodicals. They're treated a little bit differently. Um, Everything else that we hold is 72 hours, and it's been disinfected by hand. Our staff are wiping materials down with disinfectant cloths prior to release, prior to quarantine. So we're trying to guarantee ourselves and our public that our materials are safe for handling. We've received some grants for COVID-19 relative to COVID-19 mitigation. Currently, these are the things that we have engaged in. A mini COVID grant, LSTA grant for $3,000. We bought PPE supplies with it, dividers, cleaning supplies, disinfectant sprayer. That's where that came from. Gloves, face masks, and a digital video camera and software so we can provide story time online. And we're doing that now. Miss Christy Allen is doing a great job with Story Times Weekly. And I've done a guest spot, and we've got some other people in mind in our community that we want to entice them to do guest spots. And I don't think that's going to be a problem. Particularly interested in having our director of public health in the county do one, and some other people as well. I think it'll be great. Then we got a COVID EZ grant for $9,690. That was awarded on the 31st of July. And that is the money that will purchase the 19 hotspots and the CIPA compliant devices that will keep the hotspots filtered. Those will be available to anybody that's got a library card, any adult that's got a library card to check out for internet access at home or in their business, so that we can make them as available to the public as possible. I think our intention is to make them available for 3-week checkouts. It'll give you a taste of what's available on the internet. And I have only rarely, in my experience, using filtered internet services in Franklin County Library ever been blocked from a page. you pretty much have to intentionally go to a site or try to go to a site that is questionable content that you wouldn't want to share with a child. Um, but if you do that, you're going to get stopped. You can still use the internet. You're just not going to be able to get to those pages. And then we also applied for State Library North Carolina Cares COVID project grant. We weren't awarded that, but we we got a lot of very positive feedback about our application, and the state library is going to has expressed their desire and willingness to work with us to craft that into a better grant application so that we could get the award. That's really encouraging to us. So we're going to continue to apply for monies for different things. Um, Such as the bookmobile that we have received $100,000 in LSTA funds for, and we had on hand $35,000 toward a match of $75,000. The $35,000 were from estates, so we were beneficiaries of two bequests, um, and that totaled to $35,000, and the commissioners uh, agreed to stand for the $40,000 balance that's required to buy the vehicle that we're looking to secure for a mobile library service platform in Franklin County. Um, we want to have we want to give more people in more remote parts of the county greater access to a library, a mobile platform that provides a library experience. So they can actually walk onto the bookmobile like they did in the past and make selections from a collection there, have internet access through its wireless Wi-Fi provision, as well as a number of other technologies. And it will be a distribution point also for some of the mobile hotspots. So we're very excited about that. This is an idea of what service will look like what it looks like now. And you can see we've refreshed our little runabout vehicle with new graphics. Um, and at the bottom it says, "Start your adventure at your library." On the back of the book of our little runabout, and there was a mandate from the county year before last that all vehicles should include the county seal, and so we made ours very prominent. That's it on the bottom right of the left hand part of the slide, and you can see it's on our little bookmobile too. Uh, the nebula photograph the nebula is taken from NASA, as well as the remote planets on the back of the bookmobile. So we want to inspire our patrons, particularly our younger patrons. Uh, we don't want them to limit their ideas as to where life can take them. We want to inspire them to you know, go out and do everything they can to enrich their lives and make a good, effort. And on the right, you see what this is the kind of bookmobile we have proposed to buy. It's specific to the grant, a sprinter type vehicle that has a curbside door can drop the curb height and for entrance from the side, and in the back, that ramp drops down, and we can load up a wheelchair as well as um, shelving for the bookmobile itself. Mobile shelving, which goes in the bookmobile. It's like shelving carts. You roll them inside, you lock them in place, and there you go. It's easy to change out the whole collection. They can be tailored or curated for different places and different groups. Like if you're going to daycare centers, we can put a daycare collection or curated collection for daycares on that, so children have an opportunity to go on board and have a good look around and pick out something for their classroom, and they'd be checked out to the classroom. And then Our next slide is some restoration work that we had a little water damage in Franklinton right at the close of the last round of early voting or in Franklin County. And you can see the water damage to the carpet. We were insured and we had planned to replace the carpet in Franklinton in 2018-19 or I mean 1920. And also we had the funds, we recouped insurance funds to pay for the replacement of the carpet. And while we were at it, we had a new paint job done too. So on the left, of course, is the before pictures. And Miss Fisher, how's it look over there to you?
Looks great.
I'm
Oh,
glad
the
you
bookmobile. I'm interested. That's all I want to hear about now.
more about the bookmobile. Well, I'll hopefully take you for a ride on it sometime.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and then so you can get an idea of what it looks like now. And then we're seeking additional members for our library board. Interested persons, please submit a letter of interest to Kristen King, clerk of the county commissioners, and the address is 113 Court Street. The letter of interest application is located at franklincountync.us boards- and commissioners /citizens-participation-application. Now, this information is available to anyone if they go to franklincountync.us. I try to explain it the easy way. Click on commissioners. It's one of the headline tabs on that page. And if you look to the left of the new page, click on boards and commissions, which is in a drop. It's not a drop down. It's on the left-hand side. You scroll down a little bit, you'll see boards and commissions. And then if you look to the left again, on the next page, you'll see how to get that letter of intent. Okay, we've done some fiscal allocation changes relative to collection development in the time of COVID-19. The library increased its digital content allocation by 70% in the current fiscal year, and may shift additional monies from print resource allocations going forward. Depends on when we can get these doors open to the public. One of the things that we have to consider is, will we have to make appointments for people to browse the collection? Definitely, initially, we would have to make appointments for people to use computers so we can maintain safe distancing. And same thing with browsing, maintaining safe distancing. We would require a mask for people to enter the library, just like we do shoes and shirts. And so that bears on all of this increase in digital content. You want to back up one, please? Thank you. We applied $4,000 lump sum digital content purchase at the end of the last fiscal year for digital content. And we're working in collaboration with the county school system to build content for young adults and early childhood reading, as well as adult collections. We've managed to work with Overdrive, who is our door or gateway to digital content for our publics, to install the Sora application, which I'm pretty sure is an acronym for Student Online Resource Application. And it allows the students to access school and public library electronic media through that single application. It streamlines the process for kids to get into our material or get to our material, our online content. Mr. Hunt has developed a video to explain how to do that, to share with students through the schools. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. All right, here's our next slide is going to be our statement on opening physical plants to the public, timing and creating the least restrictive environment. That it's like we're like educators. We want to provide the least restrictive environment so people can get the most out of their time in the library, just like y'all want them to have the least restrictive environment in elementary, middle, and high school so they can get the most out of their experience at school. We're reviewing applications for one full-time position, one part-time position. That'll allow us to restore our full complement of employees to staff our libraries. And given the time when all positions are filled, we will entertain opening public access computer stations by appointing and browsing by appointment. Appointment and browsing by appointment. The recommendations of the Franklin County Health Department will be fully implemented on any introduction of public persons into our facilities. Masks will be mandated, as are shoes and shirts. I got ahead of myself a while ago. Other public entities that have attempted to open and found COVID-19 clusters converging on or spreading to their communities will take as a cautionary tale, and we'll proceed with utmost caution. As the old saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Okay, here's the old business that we have to address, and it's the Child Internet Protection Act. So, the Child Internet Protection Act, we need to reauthorize it, because even though our library board authorized it in 2001, we do not have a record of the advertisement for that specific library board meeting that was specific about the Child Internet Protection Act. And that's what's required. We have been compliant the whole time. We wouldn't be able to take federal funds if we weren't compliant. And we were compliant to the letter. And but we want to continue. We want to get everything straight and just make what's needed to be straightened out right. So we're going to ask you for a motion to adopt and reauthorize the Child Internet Protection Act specific to internet use in the Franklin County Library, and additionally through any mobile device or platform online by the Franklin County Library. Now that we can distribute those hotspots without internet, without SIPA compliant filtering devices, but we would only be able to distribute it to adults. And since we can't monitor what people do in their homes, that there's an adult sitting down with a child while the child's doing their homework using one of our devices, we felt like it was imperative that we went the long road and purchased the filtering devices to work concurrent with the mobile hotspots. So each individual mobile hotspot will have a filtering, and once it hits the internet, will be filtered, content filtering a package that will filter it before anything gets to that device.
So, unfortunately, we don't have quorum to get a motion going for that.
That's right.
Okay.
So we want you to think about this, and we're gonna have to call another meeting when we do have quorum to make sure that this is in place. But we'll pretty much have the same agenda, or some of the same items in the agenda, or more specifically, we'll drill it down to this bit of business right here. And the request for the $6,000 that we put forward a little bit earlier on.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Will you press your space bar?
Oh, I gotta let it stay.
There we go. I hear you now.
How informed do you think parents are about this Child Internet Protection Act? Are parents aware of this, do you think, the community?
I think they are, because if they, Ms. Fisher, because when they bring their children into the library to get a card, and they say, "Well, my child can use the internet now." We always address that with, uh, "We need you to read this um, application for child internet, this Child Internet Protection Services Act information, and sign this waiver so that they can use it without you sitting down and using the machine with them side by side. For each individual child, anyone under the age of 18 has to have that waiver on file signed by their parent or guardian."
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm thinking that's the parents in general. How much do parents know about the need to really protect their children from the internet?
This, I'm sorry, can I interrupt? This
Yes,
is something that we address a lot in the school system. I'm a media coordinator. Actually, we're called digital. Um, anyway, this is something that we address quite a bit. We have family nights, parent nights. We talk a lot about it. So if they're not informed, it's because they don't try to stay informed.
I'm
Sorry.
asking because I've seen a lot of Mondays we've spent with students because of things that went on over the weekend and in their homes and all. I'm just wondering, I've been wondering, how much do parents know about the need to protect their children from the internet?
Not nearly enough.
Good. Well, then,
they really probably, I agree with Ms. Jones, probably not nearly enough. And we are in weird times because uh, the director of social services in the county spoke directly to quarantine and the incidences of abuse in house, in homes, accelerating rapidly. Um,
It
Child
is.
abuse as well as other members of the family, and it's so what people do at their own homes is we can't monitor that, but we can only give them the information and call out to them that we're going to protect them, their children, when they're using our services. We have parents and come in here and try to visit sites that they have no business visiting, and they're blocked. Um, so we do we try, Ms. Fisher, we make a real effort. Alice can, Ms. Smith can verify this, that we all make an effort to make sure that each child that gets on one of our machines has that permission slip signed. And
School is the same way.
We've got a file by alphabetical file so we can look them up, make sure, if we have any questions about it, we can check it out. And there's a record of them having that internet permission slip on file that's associated with their library, with the child's library card. So if the child's got a library card, we know, if and they leave Lewisburg and go to Bond, well, if there's not a internet permission slip on file, they're not going to let the people in Bond not going to let that child sit at the computer by themselves and have access to it. So we can follow that wherever the kid is, as long as they're in one of our buildings.
I guess where my head is, which is always where it is what we do. Is there any way to build curiosity among the families, the parents and all, to go beyond that? In other words, the library brings the Child Protection Act and the things that relate to it to you when you use our facilities. But there's a need to go beyond that. It's at the library, but all over, you should be thinking about what the child is doing on the internet.
That's what we do in the school system. We educate, I mean, as much as the parents will let us, we educate them about the dangers of just letting their children do whatever they want on the internet or letting them use sites they're not old enough for, such as Facebook. You know, a lot of parents don't realize that they can have their rights taken away because they let their children use things that they're not old enough for.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that is something that we work on constantly.
And
But other place problem in my head is that it's done and it's done well in a few places, institutions, schools, libraries. But we can't negotiate this, I suppose, but a whole lot of other agencies should be involved in it as well, is where my head is at. I guess what I'm saying is every time we have a chance, all of the agencies, are they eager and interested in expanding the knowledge of the parent to what's just happening with the internet?
yeah, now we can certainly, provide some pages on the internet on our website that give direction and specific and guidance to parents at how to keep their children safe on the internet. And
That's a great idea.
we have material on hand in our libraries in print that can assist parents with making those decisions.
So do we,
It's
if
kind
they'll
of
take
like,
it.
pardon?
I just said, so do we, if they will take it. That's the problem we have sometimes.
Yeah. And but it's kind of like children that are 8 and 10 years old walking around with cell phones,
Mhm.
smart cell phones, and those things aren't filtered, and they can get into
No,
all kinds of stuff on those cell phones. But mom and
absolutely.
dad, and the children are experts at peer pressure and pressuring each other. Oh, you got to have a phone, and all that sort of stuff. They try to bring them to school too, don't they, Ms. Jones?
Yes. Not
Yeah.
so much in elementary school, but I mean, they're allowed to bring them for middle and high school.
Okay. They're allowed to bring
They're
the
not
phone.
supposed to use them. Yeah, they're not supposed to use them during class and all of that, but yeah, there's a bring your own device
And I
policy
think
in
parents
place.
are a lot more like helicopter moms and dads than they used to be when we were coming along too. They want those kids to have access to a phone in case there's an incident at school that come pick me up. And I can understand that after Sandy Hook and things like that. That makes sense to me why they would want their child to have something like that. But I'd still be I would I'm not in a position to say what I do because I am not a parent, so I'll just leave that one alone. But certainly, we um, we do what we can on a day-to-day basis to educate people about internet safety. Generally, it's because we're prompted to by the parent or guardian. Um, but we're all versed, well versed enough to discuss it with parents, our filtering um, devices and why we do it.
So I would just say there is on our site a safety tips for parents, and we do give them that when they sign that form related to SEPA. I'm sure, like Ms. Jones said, they hand them out as well. I'm to polishing that up or posting a video or working with Ms. Fisher if that's something she cares about. But there is one actually on our website as of now.
Okay.
And student access to online data is granted through their student ID and a PIN number. And they have, we're working with the schools to help their teachers help them. Mr. Hunt has produced a video on how to use Sora, that student overdrive resource application. And we're probably the first people in the state doing that. using Sora, or
now I-
they're early out of the gate to use it.
So the schools are working on Sora. The only part I'm helping with is how Sora is then used to access the library's materials. And then the schools and the libraries are working together to get a curated list to try to extend the dollars. But the schools have quite a bit more to do with Sora than we do, but we are trying to work together.
So when are the commissioners going to vote on the opt-out option instead of,
They did
Yeah.
last Monday night.
what? They did Monday night?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
It was
great.
part of the
Good, good,
consent ag-
good.
It was part of the consent agenda Monday night.
Okay. Good, great. That's what we were waiting for.
Okay. All right. Is there any more discussion about that? We do have a question. Beth Denton asked. Oh, Beth Denton is on. Okay. Good. Hey, Ms. Denton. Wait, okay. So if Ms. Denton's on, we probably have. Do we have quorum? I don't know.
If Ms. Denon is on,
She's here, yeah, she's here now.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Okay.
for a while I've been listening on my phone. I was in my car, so I just figured out how to get where I needed to be.
Oh, okay.
So I
So-
could unmute.
Right. Cool.
so
Cool.
we only require 4 of the 7 for quorum.
That's
So
right.
if you guys would like to revisit the 2 voting items, Ms. Denton, were you able to hear all of the information on both of those?
Yes, I was, but I couldn't figure out how to let you know I was
Okay.
on. So.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, how do y'all feel about spending some of that money?
I think that's a great idea.
Mhm.
For
I
the
agree.
hotspots, yeah, I mean, our county is just, it's pitiful.
Pitiful. Yes. Yes.
It's been
I
a
agree.
huge, yeah.
And I know United Way is trying to raise money to increase the number of hotspots available for kids throughout the county, and working with the schools to do that. And I'm kind of dedicated to tap people for that kind of money too, where I can. And I thought, well, yeah, this is really a time of need, so it would be a great time to. It'd be a really good time to spend some of our money, and it leaves us a balance of $3,000, dollars that
Mhm.
We can increase if some way or the other in the future. But now's the time.
I would say we're gonna need a motion from one of the board members, and we'll need to have you unmute so I can see who it is. And then we'll do a second, and then you can vote.
I'll make a motion.
So move. Second.
All right, I've got the first from Darla Jones and second from Jackie Gill.
Mhm.
And now the votes.
All in favor?
Vote in favor, Fisher.
Yeah, yes.
Aye.
All right.
Beth, it's fine. Yes.
All right. So
Thank you,
that's
Ms. Dunn. Thank
that's
y'all
all approved.
Good.
Okay. Now we need to approve the. Now we need. It's so good to see y'all. Really, it is. Now we need a motion to approve the Child Internet Protection Act.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Ms. Gill moved, Wayne, and
I approve, definitely.
and I think everyone has voted to approve.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's unanimous as well.
Good.
Good.
Okay, and so we're just about done. We've got a couple more slides to talk about. I can't see the slides, no, sir. You need to share your screen.
Yeah, your screen's not being shared anymore.
We'll get it.
There you
Here
go.
we go.
There you go.
Okay, now we're open to citizens' comments and questions. If anybody's out there that would like to make a comment or has a question, please submit them to Wayne Hunt, W. Hunt at franklincountync.us. And we have 24 hours to respond to you. Any further discussion?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I tell you what, this is a strange new way to have a meeting. But
Starting to get used to it.
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
I hope that our presentation, I think I'll have to crib it a little bit next time we do one. Keep some of the pages shorter, not so much information on a page. And if we have to do this again instead of meeting in person, but it's really kind of efficient once it gets done right. You know,
Yeah.
we're
Mhm.
working toward that anyway. This is the first one, it's the first one we have done like coming out of the lobby itself. I participated in one that I had information to share, but it wasn't quite the same as this. And I really thank everyone for joining us this evening. If there's anything else, we'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Really good to have y'all
Congratulations on
together.
all this hard,
Man,
and congratulations on all this hard work.
well,
This is
thank you so much.
progress.
We have a lot of good support from our branches and our branch people, and we're so fortunate to have them come back to work with
Especially
us.
the Franklinton branch.
Yeah. and we are so fortunate to have our part-time staff back in our branches, and the changes that we have seen have been good. I think good for everybody, and we appreciate everybody participating tonight in particular. Thank you, Ms. Fisher.
Thank you all. It's
All right.
great.
Good.
I want to
Look
thank
forward to
everybody
working
for
with
showing
you.
up. So we had quorum.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
So,
Beth, I'm
that's
glad
great.
you showed up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done the Zoom on my phone before, so I was like, oh, how can I get there? But anyway,
Y'all, I gotta tell you this. I got a Zoom call with my pulmonologist coming up. I don't know how that's gonna work out. But
Really?
I've had a
That
bunch of,
ought to be-
yeah, I've had a lot of doctor's appointments this way.
I have too. Mhm.
no, it's good that at least you can do it. As there's a
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye,
Good night.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Hope.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Aye. Good night.
Corey, I appreciate it, bud. You can sign us off.
All right.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Boyd.
Thank you.